Hey guys, your boy Fallen here with
Mick Andrews.
So tell us about what's your reason for coming for the festival this year?
I have a short film on the festival called Dotty.
Okay. So let's start with the title. How did the title come around?
It's a good question. Basically, it's just the name of the main character.
Okay.
Dorothy, Dotty.
Okay, so simple enough.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in doing the whole project in general?
Well, the film is set in a nursing home. It's about a woman who lives in a nursing home. And the thing that got us interested is that we've been writing a TV show set in a nursing home for a few years actually. So yeah, we're really drawn to nursing homes because they're this interesting combination of beauty and sadness and yet comedy as well, you know, the crazy things that develop people do. So the film was inspired off the back of the TV show.
So where was it shot?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, but that's a beautiful place. The whole thing in New Zealand?
Yep.
Okay. Now what about producing, etc.? All in New Zealand there, right?
Yep, that's
it.
Yeah.
Now, so tell us a little bit about the plot of the movie. What you can review about it.
Of course. So basically, it's about an old lady who lives in a nursing home, and she's desperate to send a text message to her daughter. She's got this old cell phone. She's kind of forgotten how to use it. So, and then she enlists someone's help, you know, to send this message. And basically, crazy as it sounds, most of the film is her battling with a cell phone to send this text message. But there's more to it, you know,
yeah, we don't want to give everything away. Come on.
I know. It sounds really exciting already.
So, what do you think was the major obstacle about getting it done from start to finish?
That's a good question. I think finding the right old lady was probably the film really rested on finding someone who performed that main character really well, and we were really lucky to find Joyce Irving. She was 91 when we shot the film. She's 93 now, and she just kind of sits in the middle of like confusion and a little bit of senility, if that's a word, and but a really engaging kind of emotional performance as well.
So what was her, did she see the film already, or?
Yeah, this film was almost more for her than us. Like, she loves it.
She loves it?
And she threatened to sell all her family jewellery to go to the world premiere in Montreal.
Oh wow.
But luckily she didn't have to, because a journalist did a story about it, and then basically the people of New Zealand donated all this money.
Oh,
that's go to the world premiere. So that's cool.
So you said it premiered in Montreal, re-premiered. Now here we are at the Hamptons Film Festival. Where are you going next, and where can people see it next?
Sure, well, I'll play at the Hamptons today at 5:30 at UA. I go from here to New Orleans tomorrow, where it plays at the New Orleans Film Festival. It's playing in a few different places. It's playing in Heartland in Indiana, but it's done a lot of its festivals, like Palm Springs, LA Shorts Fest, South by Southwest. It won Best Short Film at Nantucket.
Is there a place people can keep track of it, where they can see it? A website, Facebook?
Well, yeah, you could go to my website, jollygoodfilms.com. Yeah, I'll be putting some updates there.
Now, we talked about the hardest perspective and kind of the lowest point of it. Now, what was the highest, you think, like, what was your high coming out of that film?
Personally, the high, I mean, this was our first short film. Personally, the highest point was sitting behind the monitor and watching these two women give this heart-wrenching performance, you know, and just seeing your script come alive and actually being moved by it, just sitting by the monitor on set, you know, and there was just some magic in that is almost indescribable, right?
Now, we're in modern day era, and the social media is buzzing, and so what has the fan reception been thus far for the film?
Really great. I mean, it's played at over 20 festivals. It's won 3 awards. And well, I'm always getting emails from people who have seen it at a festival and just want to say how much they love it, basically. Which I think, I mean, it's not big technology when someone emails you, but it's really nice to hear. You know?
Now, you have the whole festival tour going on. Now, is there any plans for a digital or physical release for it to come out?
Yeah, well, the film is being represented by What Media, based in Toronto, and so hopefully they'll curate it into a lineup of films and release it on iTunes. There might be some VOD stuff. We don't know exactly where it'll be, but it's bound to end up on iTunes.
So no dates right now that you can comment on? No dates. Now let's talk about you. What got you interested in directing in the first place?
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess I've just always loved telling stories, you know, whether it be with a beer and some friends at a pub, or so I guess I'm a performer at heart. Like, I used to perform sketch comedy live for 5 years, alongside the other director of Dotty and another guy, and I guess it's that buzz of moving people, you know, telling people a story and moving them, you know, giving them a message, telling them what's on your head or on your heart, and just having them enjoy that story. And that started on stage for me, and now it's on screen. So that's why I do what I do.
Now, I'm sure that we have a lot of aspiring filmmakers and producers, actors. If you could give one piece of advice, I'm sure you could give plenty, and the list can go on and on and on.
I've only made one.
But if you could give the most crucial one in your opinion.
To aspiring directors, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
Make a film. I know that sounds really stupid, but that's all I do. Just made a film.
Yeah.
I mean, just start. Really. Start doing it. We tried to get funding for the film and couldn't. We had to fund it ourselves. Get great people on board. Our film, we were so lucky. We got an amazing producer, Joseph Fitchess, on board, and with him came some really high caliber people, a great DP, a great production designer, and that's why the film is the standard it is, you know. So much because of the amazing people who work on it.
No. Yeah, and talk about how just get in there and start doing it. And you see now right now, they talk about Netflix and there's Hulu, YouTube, Vimeo, and all these platforms.
Yeah.
Now, are you all supportive to it? Because to some extent, it allows a lot more aspiring filmmakers to get in the business, but at the same time, there's no true content filter associated with it. For example, seeing your film compared to a dog rolling around on the ground, shot with a cell phone camera. So, what's your stance on the modern, I guess, distribution?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I must admit I do have a kind of a negative response to the idea that people are spending more time watching, you know, cats play with shampoo bottles, you know, than watching what I would consider good stories well told. And yeah, it's easy to be quite cynical about that, but I think it's not, you know, we can't control that. People, the technology and the people control that, and if people, you can't stop people watching a whole lot of cat videos. Yeah. And I think you've got to have some faith in the human spirit in general, that you know, when all the cats die horrible deaths, then people will still want to hear a good story well told, you know. And I would hope that will always be a desire of audiences, you know. So it's hard. I feel like we're getting dumbed down. You know, films feel like they're getting dumber and dumber, right?
Which goes to the next question: is like, what do you want to see in the industry in general change in the next, or hoping to see change from personal and just prediction-wise in the next 10 years? Because going back to early 90s and mid 80s and before that, and the film was shot and literally they used to cut it. You know, see the film and literally cut it, and now we have 4K resolution cameras and 3D distribution and all that. So what do you hope that's going to happen in the industry in general in the next 5 years?
Well, I guess that kind of always feeds into the age-old question of art versus commerce. You know, like, are we just selling shoes, or is it more important than that? And then you've got people who are, say, the heads of studios. You know, do they feel like they'll do anything to make a buck, or are they interested in telling good stories, you know? And it seems like ever since kind of the recession, you know, and the kind of hard financial times, people haven't been taking risks, you know. They've been making a lot of remakes or kind of what do you call it, remakes, and
they're relaunching the franchise,
second, third, fourth franchise.
Look at Batman, Spider-Man, Finding Nemo. There's Finding Dory is going to be coming out. All these, they already have an existing franchise, and like you said, they don't want to take a risk. And they saw it was doing well in the before. It's like, hey, it's probably going to do well again.
And it's kind of like, I mean, you know, and even just relying on books that have sold well to translate into films. You know, I mean, it's totally understandable that you would want to kind of capitalize on an existing property that you know has an audience already, whether it be the first film, the second film, or the book. But I would just, my hope is that there's people out there who are funding films and heading up studios who actually do actually have a passion for storytelling as well, you know. And I think there are, you know, some studios doing some interesting things, even if it's like the Weinstein Company seems to be bringing out some great films that take risks, and I think do well as a result. I'd like to think the films that take risks but end up really good are the ones that hopefully kind of are the best commercially as well.
So what's next for you regarding future projects?
Well, we just had our second short film funded in New Zealand, which is great. So when I get home, we start pre-production on our second short film, which is called Ron.
Any dates you can comment on yet?
Well, we'll shoot it in what is New Zealand's autumn. So around shoot it around April, May. Okay. And try and get it finished for about next year, obviously.
And then repeat the same cycle, festivals, and hopefully distribution going.
I'd love to be able to delegate that. I mean, the festival thing is a time-consuming process.
Any plugs you want to throw out there?
Plugs? Well, shout out Dotty, Sonnet UA, and you know, keep hold of us, keep sight of us. We've got Ron is also set in a nursing home. It's about an old man, and
you have a theme going on with that nursing home.
We'll give up on it one day. Don't worry. We maybe make a feature in a nursing home. Then that'll be it. You know? That'll be the old people going. Move to kids.
Yeah, just go on the opposite end of the spectrum going on.
Yeah.
Kindergarten.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe get them set up right there.
No major plugs, you know.
So Twitter, Facebook, website?
Just website really, jollygoodfilms.com.
So that's the production company?
Yeah, that's the production company who made Dotty.
Okay, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And you want to say anything else? Final words?
Hi, Mom. No, that's it.